use of literals in Java. So first of all, what is literal? You may have noticed that the new keyword isn't used when initializing a variable of a primitive type. Primitive types are special data types built into the language. They are not objects created from a class. A literal is the source code representation of a fixed value. Literals are represented directly in your code without requiring computation. As shown below, it's possible to assign a literal to a variable of a primitive type. For example, Boolean result is equals to true, character capital C is equals to C, byte B is equals to 100. Or we can say that literals are the raw values or constant values, and we can also say that the values which we assign to the variables are known as literals. Here is the example, character capital C is equals to C. Here C is the character literal. Now let's discuss about the types of literal. So basically there are 4 types of literal. The first type is integral literal. Let's discuss about this. For integral data types, that is byte, short, int and long, we can specify literals in 4 ways. First one is decimal literals. Those literals which have base 10 and which is in this form, the allowed digits are 0 to 9. For example, int x is equals to 100. Second one is octaliteral. The literal which have base 8 and in which allowed digits are 0 to 7 are known as octaliterals. The octaliteral should be prefixed with 0. For example, int x 0146. Here 146 is the actual number and 0 determines that it belongs from an octaliteral. Next is binary literal. From 1.7 onwards, we can specify literals value even in a binary form also. Allowed digits are 0 and 1. Literals value should be prefixed with 0b or 0 capital B. For example, int x is equals to 0b1111, where 0b specify the binary literals and 1111 is the digit. Next is hexadecimal literals. Those literals which have base 16 and in which allowed digits are 0 to 9 and from 10 to 15 it will be as characters which is A to F, as 10 determines A and 11 determines B, that's all. We can use both uppercase and lowercase characters, as we know that Java is a case-sensitive programming language, but here Java is not case-sensitive programming language. The hexadecimal number should be prefixed with 0x or 0 small x. For example, int x is equals to 0x123FACE. Here 0x determines that it belongs from an hexadecimal family and 123FACA is an actual literal. The next literal is floating point literal. Let's discuss about it. For floating point data types, we can specify literals in only decimal form and we can't specify in octal and hexadecimal forms. As we already know that decimal literals are those literals which have base 10 and which is in which allowed digits are 0 to 9. So this type of literals are allowed in floating point literal. For example, double G is equals to 123.456. Next is char literal, or we can say that character literal. For char data types, we can specify literals in 4 ways. The first one is single quote. We can specify literal to char data type as single character within a single quote. For example, character CH is equals to A. Here A is a single character and it is also enclosed in a single quote. Second is char literal as integral literal. We can specify char literal as integral literal, which represents Unicode value of the character, and that integral literals can be specified either in decimal, octal and hexadecimal forms. but the allowed range is 0 to 65535. For example, character ch is equals to 062. Here are some characters which we can use as an integer, and those type of examples are come under the character literal as integral literal. For example, 062. Next is Unicode representation. We can specify character literals in Unicode representation also. Here, 4x represents 4 hexadecimal numbers, and Unicode is represented by \u. For example, character ch \u 0061. Here, \u 0061 represents A. Escape sequence. Every escape character can be specified as a character literal. For example, character ch \n. Here \n describe about the new line. Last but not the least is string literal. Any sequence of characters within double quotes is treated as string literals. For example, string s is equals to hello. String literals may not contain unescaped new line or line fit characters. However, the Java compiler will evaluate compile time expressions, so the following string expressions result in a string with 3 lines of text. For example, string text is equals to, this is a string literal, new line, plus which spans not 1 and not 2, plus but 3 lines of text. So, this is the all about literals. Thank you.